throughout the nation and around the globe. From his heart to yours, it's Dearjames Live, bringing you intuitive insight, answers, and advice to your life questions.
Hello, beautiful soul family, and welcome to Weekly Wisdom and Insights, your home for spiritually guided transformation and empowerment. I am your host, Dearjames, and together with the unseen, Spirit, Source, and Symphony, we look at the current energies, we incorporate your comments and questions live, and we go as guided. We look to the unseen to see where are we going, what's happening. And then from around the globe as you join us, and welcome Olivia, welcome Colleen, place in the comments say hello, where you're joining from, and throughout the broadcast, by all means, feel free to drop in your comments and so forth. And that way, we will come together as one. It's around the globe. It's amazing. So we have some beautiful energies. I don't know about anybody else. Last weekend's strawberry full moon. Whew, it's just now starting to dissipate. There was some intense, it's under the surface, right? It's boiling under the surface, but it's palpable. You can feel it. And so it's been interesting on that front. And there's been a huge theme, and it's been playing out in front of me, that there's really this demand, and that is the word. There's this demand on behalf of Source, on behalf of the unseen, on behalf of the whole, that we are really being, it's like a press, like a wine press or a fruit press, a citrus press, where we're being pressed, we're being pushed and shoved and pulled to let go of the old, to strip away anything and everything that is not of the new. Because we can't, it's like the picture they're giving me right off the top of the hour, and you're going to see why. Our main theme, just to jump to it for a moment, is determination, breakthrough. And I want you to see this image. It's the most beautiful. There's this kind of ethereal white staircase going up, and you see the world that we see. You see the sky, the greatest theater in the world, is peeling back the veil. The curtains are peeling back, right? And you can see this. And then you see this iridescent, rainbow-esque individual person body. And beyond it is the new. So you can kind of see upper left, upper right. You see on the screen, you see the old. And then the curtains are being pulled back. The veil is being pulled back. There's a reveal. And all of a sudden, and what it says to us too is that you should be able to see that what is beyond what we see will quote unquote look the same in a way. But notice how it's a little more, it's a little more purified. It's iridescent. It's radiating this rainbow colored light. And it's saying to us, beyond the veil, beyond the illusion of this moment in time that we are releasing, we're letting go of, is the new. And we've talked about this from way back in November of 2021 when we began this journey, that it will look the same, but it's not. It's different. It's like going from color to technicolor. And so this image, and we'll come back to it, but this theme of determination, breakthrough, and you're going to see why this is, as we're moving through what's happening here. So, but the point is, it's like all this luggage, to come back to the image that they gave me, this determination, this breakthrough. Imagine that you're just weighed down with all of this baggage, this luggage, and you're wanting to move through to the new. And so all around us, you are seeing, and it's playing out on the world stage, you're seeing this element of let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. There's Frozen for you, a little Disney shout out. It's like it is the releasing of all of these old elements. And as you're seeing it in your lives, and I'm certainly witnessing it with family members and friends and so forth, this constant theme and message, which ties in with the main theme of today of determination breakthrough, is simultaneously let go. Let go of these things. And what's so interesting is it's really simple. I mean, what's the letting go, the act of it, of what we're being asked to release is very simple. It's simply the fear, the trauma, the fear of the unknown, what's on the other side, because we know the beast we know. And so that feels safe. You know, we know the place, we know the city, the job, the relationship, the friendship, the acquaintance. We know these things. And so because it's known, it feels more comfortable, even if it's something that's not great for us. Or we can see that our world is changing, it's evolving. And you can see this on the world stage, right? You can see that we are moving. It's Aquarian age, it's matriarchal rule. The Piscean patriarchal rule is over. And look at how the fear is causing a portion of the people to just cleave to an old way, cleave to an old power structure and everything. And there are the other, the other set running like it can't get here fast enough to move forward. So this is what's happening at the top of the hour. There's some, crazy energies playing out. And there's a sub-theme. I don't even want to call it a sub-theme, a co-theme to this determination breakthrough. And that is, and it's the second item on the show today that came from the unseen. And they said, starting over, ... at the top. And when you go back to this image of determination, breakthrough, they're not at the bottom of the staircase. Look at this radiant angelic being. And for everybody, in case you haven't figured this out for yourselves, that person, that entity, that soul, that essence that's standing at the top of the staircase, that's you. It's not at the bottom of the staircase. It's not in the middle of the staircase. He, she, they are at the top of the staircase. And so here's this beautiful determination breakthrough, starting over, ... at the top. And we've been talking about this. We've been talking about the deliverance of things and how these energies will play out. But it's really, that was really cool. When this came in, I have to be honest, you can see me smiling. I hope you can hear it in the energy in my voice and smiling. Because the minute when you hear starting over, everyone's like, oh, wah, wah, wah. Like, ugh, really? I'm having to start all over again. And it invokes this starting over at the beginning or at the bottom or something like that. And they're very clearly, the unseen is very clearly saying it's starting over at the top. We're going back to where we began, but an octave higher. So that going back to where we began is starting over again, but it's at the top. And that is really exciting. So let me know how you're feeling, if that's speaking to you and everything. Welcome, Lorna. Welcome, Ava. Welcome, Alicia. It's just really cool. So let's jump into the main energies. No, they're saying go to the astro influences first. So we're going to go to that instead. So here's the deal. There's really only kind of two, I say only two. On June 5th, Venus enters Leo. So that was 2 days ago. And what's beautiful about this and kind of speaks to the first thing about divine counterparts and unfinished business. And they go together. So here's this beautiful thing of Venus enters Leo. Well, Mars, her counterpart, her divine counterpart, is already in Leo. And they are going to rendezvous and be within a few degrees of each other for the next few weeks. So be really open and mindful to where divine counterparts, and it's in the sign of Leo, it's passion, it's fire, it is ego. It represents the purity of the ego. It's, the lion is the head of the pride. It is the king of the kingdom, the animal kingdom and everything. And so there's this beauty in the sense, there's a regalness. That's the image, the word. There's a regalness. And then here's the divine counterparts, and all of these are coming together. So be open and they're making a point, the unseen is saying, recognize this divine unity, this divine counterpart, this regalness coming together, first and foremost within yourselves, and then mirroring as it comes to you, magnetizing and mirroring that as we encounter it and experience it externally. So be really, really conscious and be open to how this divine union and this regalness comes together within yourself. Because again, I'm going to go back to this image, determination, breakthrough. That is your radiance. That is your regalness, your radiance, your divine counterparts, that divine union standing at the top of the staircase. And the curtain is being drawn back to reveal the new. And it's like tearing a page. It's like, Piscean era, that pulling back of the screen, the ripping of the paper to reveal the essence and the purity of your divinity, of your divine nature, of your divine essence in the sign of Leo. The beauty, the empowerment of that coming together. Well, on top of that, let me go back, jumping around here. On June 11th, so coming up in 4 days, Pluto re-enters Capricorn. So remember, and it's at that anaretic 29th degree, that degree of faith. And here we're talking about determination, breakthrough, about not giving up. And the beauty about this is, remember, so Pluto hasn't entered Aquarius, which is where it is right now, since the French and American revolutions. It was a very powerful moment 200 plus years ago. It's going to retrograde and move back into Capricorn, and then go forward again in Capricorn at that 29th degree, because Pluto moves very slowly, between June 11th and January 22nd, 2024, when it officially moves into Aquarius for the next 2 decades. So the beauty about this is unfinished business. There's this essence, and Capricorn is an earth sign, fixed earth sign. So it's going to be, in essence, concrete. This unfinished business, it's like Pluto went forward and kind of gave us a little taste and said, here's where we're going. And then it's going back and it's saying to us, okay, now let's go back and finish up, let's clean up unfinished business. Let's handle all of it. So that when we officially move into, Pluto moves into Aquarius in January of 24, we're ready to go. We're just imagine the lightness, the levity, the liberation, the freedom. And so it's asking us between now and January, kind of 22nd of January, to move forward, clean up the unfinished business. So we got these simultaneous divine union, divine counterparts, this beautiful unity coming together. While in the sign of Leo, regalness, simultaneously saying, clean up, clean house, get everything in order, kind of let go, purify, let go, liberate yourself, so that as the new arrives, really truly we move into this new Aquarian age of alignment. You'll see that it's number 4, its foundation, this Aquarian age of enlightenment and alignment, that we're aligned with it. We've come in to meet our higher selves at the right time. And again, whether you're joining on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook, and whether it's person, business, institution, government, this all applies. No entity, because all of those are made up of people. So no one's getting off the hook here. We are all being pushed, squeezed, pressed to rise up and meet the time, rise up and meet our future selves. Because we all chose to be here. We all chose to come in at this time for this transition, for this transformation. And so that's what's on offer. And so from a business standpoint, from a governance standpoint, from institutions, also be looking through the lens of, how does this entity, this business, this government, this institution, how does it purify, transcend, let go of the old structures? They're giving me one very simple. Okay, so what was before Capricorn, Earth, we all went to an office to work. It was a fixed place. You left your home, you went to, I can't think of the word, but you went to the office and everything. Well, then COVID hits, there's this whole thing that gets pulled apart, and there's a lot of telework going on. You're working from home. And you can see where a lot of businesses and institutions, because there's fear that all these office buildings, all this office space is going to be empty or vacant. Well, that can cause a collapse in the system. Or it can say, like downtown Los Angeles, many downtown areas and so forth like that, they've taken wonderful, beautiful buildings, schools, old warehouse buildings and everything, and they've repurposed them. They've turned them into housing, something new. So, of course, the beast we know says, no, I don't want to have to go through that. I don't want to have to go through that transformation, that purge, that release, that starting over. And so there's a disconnect here and workers are saying, I don't want to go back to the office. That's the word, commute. I don't want to have to commute an hour to work. I'm more productive because my life, I'm not dealing with all of that. And so there's a balance. There's going to be a balance. But there's a shift. And so that's a beautiful example of this moment, because of course, for the owners of these commercial buildings and so forth, yes, there is the quote unquote, the burden, if you will, but we know the burden is, what is it? Opportunity. So how do you recreate? And we're starting over, ... at the top. So somehow, as we shift into the Aquarian age, and the Aquarian age, it's air, it's fluidity, it's movement, it's not fixed, it's fluid. And so there's an opportunity for all of these institutions, buildings, different things to reinvent themselves. You see this with shopping malls. I mean, shopping malls now have churches and gyms in them, where that was never the case. It was always just commerce. But they're repurposing themselves. And they become alive again because they've transformed. It's this concept. So, and that same concept, whether we're individual person, the human, and the institutions, the businesses. So be open and be looking for, be listening, because it's not just the mind. Be intuiting as to how you're going to reimagine these opportunities, these events, as they unfold, because that's what we're being pressed to do. Here it is, and this push-pull, where the individual employees and everything, they're pushing, they're advancing forward. There was an article, I forget, one of the insurance carriers and so forth said that the employees were going to be able to work from home, telework still. And then all of a sudden a new CEO comes in and says, no, I'm mandating that you come back to the office. And these employees resigned in mass. They rejected it. They said, nope, not for me. I don't want to do that. So there's going to be this transition and this transformation. However, the new is the Aquarian age. And how do we maximize and really transform, liberate ourselves, and yet still function as a society, as a human, as a person, as a whole? That's what's on offer here. So let's look at the weekly. Let's look at the main energies. And I love this image in the background. You can see that there's this beautiful pearl being held. And pearls, of course, represent wisdom. So, and we have some very interesting numbers. Today is June 7th, 2023. That becomes a 677. So keep that in the back of your mind for a moment. So here we are. We have all month long, it's a 6. June is a 6. And remember from last year, conflict versus destiny. The 6 in the I Ching represents conflict, let go. And see, where you are in conflict, where you are not wanting to let go of the beast the familiarity. And that's person, place, thing, relationship, whatever it may be. that can be, again, never forget the relationship and the labels and the identities and all of these things that you hold within yourself, that you speak and think of within yourself. Conflict, let go. Because the new age, the new is pulling you forward in a much more pure, light state of being. And so you cannot take this old baggage into the new. It doesn't work. So be in alignment with destiny versus conflict. It's that let go part. The 7 of this year is, and we have a lot of 7s going on right now. So this, and I'm going to pull them up here in a second. The 7 is about the army, the legion, the correct discipline. It's about going about things where you respond, you don't react. It's proactive, not reactive. It's being in alignment, Aquarian age alignment, Aquarian age enlightenment. It's to let go of the density of the old. The 6 and the 7 become a 13, and that's about fellowship and socialize. It's about how we come together, how you come together in fellowship, again, within yourself, and then how that ripples out, mirrors and magnetizes outward. We have 20 because the 6, the 7, and the 7 become a 20. And remember, we had that beautiful image, bringing it up here really quickly. There's the all-seeing owl and the golden apple, this wisdom, and that 20/2. That's the numbers that everything comes to hit. So you can see this kind of theme, this constant theme playing out where it's all about wisdom. Knowledge is beneficial. Wisdom is knowledge personified. We're using wisdom here to see ourselves internally, to see the writing on the wall, so to speak, to pierce the illusion, pierce the veil. There it is. Because what stands at the top of the staircase, you, is the new you, the radiant technicolor you. And it's beyond the veil of the illusion. We're going to have this breakthrough. So, and then lastly, hexagram 43, determination, breakthrough. We're going to work with that today to see how this moment, how we meet the moment. Because it's not, where is that, because we're ready to shine. Let me just bring this up really quickly. Here it is. Because that's our time to shine. Everyone, it's our time to shine. How? Step by step, putting it together. Do not become overwhelmed with the change, the transition, the necessary steps. They are all, when we break them down, and we just, what's the next step? And we're listening, what's the next step? And it can be as simple as, I need to clean out the garage. And it can be a packed garage. Been there, done that. And the only thing is you can stand there and get overwhelmed and walk away from the task. Or you can just say, okay, do I start at this opening or that opening, at this side or that side? And you just start. And eventually, no matter how big or small the task is, you will have accomplished it. You will have let go. You will have lightened your load. You will have purged. And that's really what we're looking at here. Let me go to the main themes. Last week, we had deciding your image, your fate, your destiny. We are made in the divine likeness. And so we are at this moment. And they said to us a few shows back, time to choose. And it's about abundance, alignment, and advance. So we're choosing, it's time to choose. We are choosing our image. We are choosing which side of the fence we're on. And then, because we're going to have this determination, this breakthrough. Why? Because it's going to blast us off. We're going to be, everything's accelerated. So there's blast off. And there's a difference between lift off and blast off. They made that very clear. It's a blast off. It's like, boom, everything's accelerated. Because we're going to advance. We're moving forward. We are not going backward. Those days are done. They're gone. It's the train that comes into the station and ends. Why are we advancing? Because we're moving up. We're moving up an octave. We're moving up. We're moving through. Again, here's the beauty of exceeding. We're exceeding everything we've ever known, everything we've ever been, because we are of the new. The youngest souls coming in that are going to be here for the next, 8, 10 decades are well ahead of us in the spectrum. The soul comes in whole and complete. So it's already ready for this new, this future. So it's there because, again, we're exceeding where we've been. And it's not in any way, shape, or form to, denigrate, diminish, throw the baby out with the bathwater. No, it's been, the Piscean patriarchal rule has been very purposeful. And it is to take the best of it, divine counterparts, divine masculine, Aquarian, matriarchal, divine feminine, and come together and harmonize and balance that in a way that exceeds anything and everything we've ever been. Because it is our time to shine. And so this is the moment we find ourselves in, and it's really quite spectacular. And again, look how in the spectrum of the patriarch, the divine masculine, was quote unquote superior during this period of time, this previous era. And from women's suffrage to minority liberations and freedoms and equalities to the gay, lesbian, transgender communities and so forth, everyone moving forward to during that time period, during the divine masculine patriarchal Piscean time frame, with Master Jesus saying it's all about love. It's not about enslavement. It's not about being held back, held down, diminished. It's about going direct to the Father. It is about love, unity, oneness, goodness. So there he is setting the stage for us for this moment. And all of those various subparts, they're all equal, but subparts, not divine masculine, we've been reconciling. We've been chipping away at, over the course of millennia, chipping away at the liberations, the freedoms, the moving up to the equality part. Because here comes the divine feminine, the matriarch, the age of enlightenment, the age of equality, harmony, goodness. And now it looks like on the world stage, almost like the worst of the divine masculine is coming back, like we're going backwards. But it's only because it's afraid, it's losing its hold, its control. And it knows it. We all know it. We can all feel it. Everyone feels it. Some are very happy and joyful in the sense of advancing equality. Everybody coming to the table together. Everyone having a place at the table. It has been hard earned, hard fought, and there's been a lot of territory for both, for everyone. And now, unity, pulling back the veil. Boom, here's the new. So you can see on my face, you can hear it in my voice. For me, there's a beauty and an excitement about this, because it means we're going to be that much better. We're going to be that much more than we've ever been. And it speaks to the very best of us. To the depths of our souls, it speaks to the very best of us. And so the least of us, that part that's cheap and easy, the least of us falls away, gets pressed out. And we can do that willingly, proactively, or reluctantly, reactively, kicking and screaming and dragging. But, it's a simple truth. The history is there for a reason. The arc of destiny moves forward. Never has it moved backward. So clearly the new is before us. And that is where we find ourselves. Um, yes, Colleen is saying dark before the dawn, question mark. I hope so, because it's ugly out there. Yes, and it is time. It is. This is why I'm saying there's that beauty of, and I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to keep bringing this image up. It really struck me, that peeling back of the veil, the curtain, the illusion, and what lies beyond, what's that standing at the top, the iridescent light body, the purity, the transfiguration. I mean, it is the beauty, the highest beauty. And that's what they're saying is like, and again, it may look like it's rough out, it's ugly out there, as Colleen is saying. However, that will not last. That will not last. It is, it is done. What is it? Gone, done, and buried. It's done. And no matter how hard they cleave and they try, it's over. What lies beyond is right there in front of us. And it's radiant. I mean, it's iridescent, it's radiating, and it says, there you are, there we are. So keep on, because again, 29th degree, that degree of faith, determination, breakthrough. Here's our mantra. Our main mantra, if I can find it. I even have my specs on. Here we are. Okay. Our mantra, again, the pearl, the wisdom. Wisdom is my guide, grace my companion. So remember, we are intelligent beings, and we have knowledge. However, we're exceeding that. This is about, because knowledge is almost like thought. It's a mental construct, this knowledge. We learn things, we memorize things, we bring things in. Wisdom is taking all of that and then listening to our soul source connection, going as guided, knowing better. Knowing. It can come as knowing. It is that, and thus that becomes wisdom. And so wisdom is my guide, grace my companion, because grace denotes humility. It denotes goodness and wellness. It denotes that I see through the illusion, that I'm able to respond, not react, that I'm able to be proactive, not reactive, that I choose these things, that I am actively participating in what? My image, my fate, my destiny. I am actively choosing these things. I'm actively participating with them. I'm in alignment with that. And thus, when I see it from that perspective, it empowers me. And that's priceless. I mean, that is priceless juju. Or as the Lady Jacqueline would say, that's juicy. That is really juicy. So let's move to, so as we've talked about this is a 7-year, and it's about the foundation of God's word, divine fulfillment, divine perfection, divine completion. It's these sevens. And we talked about the 677, right? June 7th, 2023 is 677. So here it is. There's the 677 up on your screen. 677 represents spiritual awakening, enlightenment, advancement, and this conflict over destiny. There's something the 6 is so unified. Look at the beautiful balance that it has. It's almost like the eternal. Notice how the 6 comes in from above, starting over at the top. It's coming in from above, and it constantly makes a beautiful 0 at the base. Perfectly balanced. In flow, it's fluid, it's in flow, and it's always incoming. Soul source connection, soul GPS, this wisdom constantly ever flowing in, circling, and in harmony and balance. And the 7s, the 7-7, this doubling of the 7s is so auspicious. They're juicy. Well, let's look at 177. because we had this before in a few shows back. However, it came in because what they said was, the first thing they said, the unseen said, was the blank slate that, quote, opens the way for everything, everyone. So there's this blank slate that opens the way for everything, everyone. And then I heard the song that we've had before, but I heard the song again. It's by Kelly Clarkson, Before Your Love. And when I looked at it on YouTube, when I clicked the like, it was 177. It was the 177th like. Yeah, well, you can't make this up if you tried. So, and then with that, what I heard was the blank slate that opens the way for everything, everyone. I heard the words prosperity, abundance, accolades. The 177 represents courage, determination, new beginnings. So there is a loud, 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 loud message here for all of us. These sevens, the magnification, the duplicating, but not duplicating, doubling down on, amplifying of the sevens. The six being harmony, the six being, am I in conflict or destiny? And if I'm in conflict, let go. Because the 1-7 and the 177 is this, the beauty of the new beginnings, like we're starting over, but at the top. And then when you go to the double sevens, just the 7 sevens, 7-7 is a sign of destiny and purpose. So they're speaking to us about our destiny. You can see the 6. It's destiny. Is it conflict or destiny? The arc of destiny moves forward. 7-7, sign of destiny and purpose. So our purpose in this moment is to let go. Let go of the old as much and as fast and as joyfully as you can. Keep purging the past. Past identities, labels, scripts, stories, titles, people, places, things. And I know that may sound harsh, but it's not. It is about, it's that Carrie Underwood song, Jesus Take the Wheel. It's like we take our hands off the wheel. It doesn't mean we sit back and do nothing. That's a very empowering act to recognize I need to take my hands off this wheel. The arc of destiny is moving forward. We're starting over at the top. What am I able to do? What am I called to do? What do I know? It's a knowing. What do I know that I need to do in this moment so as to be Aquarian age aligned? Aquarian age enlightened. Because I cannot drag all this crud. It will not go into the new. It does not belong in the new. It just won't be allowed. It's like you get to passport control for any of you that have traveled internationally or something, and they look at you and they're like, rejected. You're like, you can't go. You come back all, pristine and wonderful, enlightened, and they stamp your passport and you go right on through. That's another way of looking at this. And they're saying to me, and you know what you need to let go of. People, places, things, identities, labels, no matter what form they come in. They're saying there's a transmission there. Each of us is receiving this transmission of what we individually need to purge, let go of, release, so as to advance, to move forward. And when you stop and think about that, so 8 billion people on the planet are receiving their individual transmission of this knowing. And as we do that, well, the whole of the whole, it tips the scale, right? It lightens because we're releasing everyone individually. 8 billion people are doing this. 8 billion people are getting the call, are getting the knowing. We are seeing it in our world. Let go, let this go, like that, this has got to go, that's got to go. And then all of a sudden it just tips the scale. Because again, the newest souls coming in are of the new age. They're not of the past, they're of the future. So it's like a tsunami. It's like that wave. Remember they had avalanche, it was like avalanche tsunami wave or something like that. It's like that. It's like, whew. And it's just that crescendo that moves us up and over because we're all doing our part. Let me just bring in the comment. Ava is saying, wisdom and grace. That is so beautiful. Our knowledge our knowledge falls into its rightly placed. Exactly. Because the knowledge is the building block. It's the foundation that we step on so that higher learning, we're exceeding the tent, wisdom. So we have all of these sevens. You can see that the message is clear. Courage, determination, new beginnings, spiritual awakening, enlightenment, advancement, destiny versus conflict, destiny over conflict, should you choose that. And then 77, sign that it's a sign of destiny and purpose. Because we have a higher purpose. We've been there, done that with what we've been doing. It's like the old way of doing things. I mean, imagine a big old clunky calculator and those big machines that you were like, and now all of a sudden we hold it in our hand. It's the advancement. And the age of Aquarius, air, fluidity, technologies, wisdom, it's who are we next? We're ready for the next iteration of ourselves. That's what we're really, powering home here. With number 2, this starting over at the top, they said, you won't believe how incredible it really is. So again, I go back to this image. Look how beautiful that is. Top of the staircase, iridescent, rainbow-bodied selves, the sky beyond, the reality beyond the veil. Starting over at the top, you won't believe how incredible it really is. That's right there. Number 4, Aquarian age alignment, Aquarian age enlightenment. And then I got the song with that. What I got was Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing, Baby. And it was by Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. Because they're saying to us, the Aquarian age ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. Going back to where we began, but an octave higher. So it's, in essence, it is the original. Ain't nothing like the real thing. It's live versus Memorex. It's original intelligence, not artificial intelligence. It's the real thing. And thereby there's nothing like it. And that's what they're speaking to. And I just want to stop for a minute and say, I understand how otherworldly, to Colleen's point, it's ugly out there. I'm hoping and praying for this. I walk this walk and I listen with them every day. And I'm as much aware of the ugliness and everything that's out there and the, kind of like the beauty and the fantasticalness of what the messages that they're giving us. And yet I know it to be true. And so the only thing really is that it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of, and if you look back and you look at, we've talked about this from Exodus and Revelations, and you look back at the Bible as a reference, 2,000 plus years old in essence, give or take, and it speaks to this. It speaks to this age. It speaks to the end of a time, an end of a way. It's not the end of the end. It's not like the extermination of humanity. It just says the end of a time, the end of a way. The old order of things goes away. I have made all things new. It's there. It's been there for, again, almost 2,000 years. So, Dearjames and the Unseen is not making it up. I always laugh. I say, I don't write the news, I just report it. And the point I want you all to take away from sharing this is, I understand what the backdrop, what the illusion looks like. I understand how beautiful and amazing it sounds, and how people have been generations, societies and peoples have been waiting for millennia for this. It doesn't mean, though, that it won't happen. It doesn't mean that it's any less real. It's just a matter, quote unquote, of time. And I was going to bring up this orange, beautiful image of this orange hourglass and everything. I saw it and I was going to incorporate it into the show and I didn't. So there you go. See, Dearjames, there you go. So let's look at, I want to bring this up. I'm going to share my screen here and just talk to you. This is from North Point Journal. It's Pam Youngin, and beautiful image. And she's talking about the Pluto re-entering Capricorn. And she says, reflection and review. After having been in progressive Aquarius for only a couple of months, Pluto is returning to practical Capricorn this week. While the effects of Pluto's retrograde phase are only subtly different than those of its direct phase, the dwarf planet's return to the previous sign is significant. Pluto's regress into Capricorn next Sunday indicates that we are not yet done with the process of exposing and dismantling the shadow side of governments, authority figures, social and legal systems, and other realms ruled by the sea goat, Capricorn, and that further work in these areas is necessary before we can fully launch into the Pluto in Aquarius years. This will not be a short revisit either. Pluto will be in Capricorn from June 11th, 2023 until it returns to Aquarius on January 22nd, 2024. As Pluto now begins its 7 months revisit of Capricorn, we can reflect back on what occurred when the dwarf planet first entered the sign in late January 2008. Remember, so this is when Pluto first moved into Capricorn. What happened in 2008? The entire mortgage industry, banking system, everything melted down. Why? Because Pluto, bringing to light the underbelly, demonstrated everything that was wrong, shady, not good with those institutions, the way the business was being done. And it all just collapsed. And then US government had to come in and shore up banking, and there was all of these autopsies done on, how the mortgage industries and all of this stuff, and how they were selling, packaging mortgage-backed securities, and how all of these different things were occurring that were illicit or have been done in a shadowy, illicit manner, and how the weight of that collapsed, crumbled. Well, so it says that ingress marked the beginning of major changes worldwide as faulty systems disintegrated, requiring new structures to be built that would provide greater stability. Now, the interesting thing is, to what degree did we listen? To what degree did the Piscean patriarchal powers that be really change? Because here's Pluto in Capricorn going back in these 7 months to clean up business. It says, in our individual lives, a symbolic or literal death occurred around that time. Literal death around that time began a new phase of self-determination, breakthrough. This had ripple effects over the next several years as we claimed greater inner authority and chose personal empowerment over adherence to outdated rules, traditional values, or past obligations that were no longer working for us. So here's that whole thing, no matter whether it's person, place, thing, identity, commuting to work, teleworking versus going into the office. Look how COVID just pulled everything apart. It was brutal and painful. And yet through it, the pearl that came from it was, who do I want to be now? Because everything came to a screeching halt. Everything got peeled back. Although there are many factors we'll be working with during the rest of this calendar year, Pluto's return to Capricorn is among the most significant. This is the time to ask ourselves again whether the rules we are following are really right for us. And remember, please remember, whether the rules we are following are right for us is not solely external. What are the rules we are following that are internal? What are the stories, the scripts, the truths that we are telling ourselves? Because those are the rules we're following. And are they right for us? This theme will be especially strong in the last half of July when the moon's nodal axis moves from Taurus Scorpio to Aries Libra. So again, Aries, first out of the gate. Libra, justice, harmony, balance. So we have that determination, that breakthrough, Aries, with the harmony, the balance, the love, the goodness, the equality, Libra. And Pluto is exactly squared the axis 3 times. So Pluto is going to square, it's a confrontational, it's going to force things, that press that I was talking about. It's going to force things as the nodes of the moon, the nodal axis, change to Aries Libra. And then she said, I'll share more of my thoughts about this impactful time ahead. So there's some, I mean, you want to talk about 2023 being a year of transition, transformation, advance. Here it is. We've signed up for it, and it really is quite amazing. Although, again, it can be overwhelming. However, just take the steps. Don't let that become the truth. Last but not least of what the unseen said, and then I'll jump in really quickly on hexagram 43. Number 5 was, they said, and it was funny because they separated. Remember the 1, 2, 3, 4? Let me just bring that up. It's the golden ticket. New adventure awaits. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 6 has the 0 at the base. 0, source, the master weaver, the host, everything. It's an eternal flow to us. And that 1, 2, 3, 4 denoting the beginnings. Well, they had me separate 5 and circle it, so it was kind of self-contained, denoting the change. And they said, wait for it, with an exclamation point. And that term, that idiom, wait for it, it can mean do not continue or begin until precisely the right moment. However, I knew that's not what they were talking about. I was like, yeah, I know that's a definition, an explanation, but that's not it. Their point is that wait for it goes back to Colleen's comment. Awaiting the announcement or reveal of something, receiving something with excitement, anticipation, after having waited for it. So they're saying to us, 5 denotes change. It's circled, it's encompassed, which means it's almost like it's a one-time thing. This change, this advance, this starting over. And they're saying, wait for it, awaiting the announcement or reveal, back to that beautiful image, that reveal, the curtains being pulled back, of something, receiving something with excitement and anticipation after having waited for it. Because we have all waited for this moment. Whether in this lifetime, whether in lifetimes prior, and we're here, we're back again, we're here. We've been waiting for this time. And that was that point that I mentioned. You know, this has been spoken about. People have been waiting for millennia, and I understand that. However, they're saying to us, wait for it, because it is here, it is upon us. So let me just move into the last piece with this hexagram 43. It's known as determination. Its action is breakthrough. Its hidden influence, the creative force. There's that Aries element, that Aries Libra access, pardon me. And it's to initiate. And its underlining cause, 23, split apart so as to regenerate. So see, let it go, release. So we've got the whole initiate, creative force, the determination, the breakthrough. While we split apart, we release, we let go of what no longer serves so that we regenerate ourselves. And beautiful quote. There's 2 of them. The first one up is, success comes when you untangle the knot and soften the glare. And it's kind of like Alexander the Great and the Gordian knot. You know, they'd sat there trying to untie this knot, but no one ever said you had to untie it. It just said, you know, can you release the knot? Can you? And he just walked up and sliced it with his sword. And so it was at the top of the hour. Remember what I said? It really is that simple. what we're being asked to release can feel overwhelming. However, when we take it step by step, it's really simple and just okay. And so break it down that way. So one of the most difficult lessons we learn in life is how to balance a resolute attitude of determination with the openness required to keep growing. Often the obstacles that we face around us are merely showing us the condition of our inner world. Where are we in conflict? In fact, obstacles only show themselves if we are looking for blockages. If we are determined to see our success manifest, this commitment to vision is all that is needed to obtain our desires. It's being resolute. It's that 29th anaretic degree of faith, determination. What is the story we're telling ourselves? What is the truth? And then we listen. And we can want something really badly and no, soul source connection, no, it's not right for us. It's not best for us. Heed that knowing, heed that call, and be willing to release that so as to make room for what is highest and best for you. So it says, however, we need sometimes we need to examine the story we tell ourselves. Is life a place to be feared, or is it a tapestry of joy? Are we the host, or are we the guest? We're the guest. So we're meant to go as guided. We're meant to be in alignment and enlightenment. What is it that you are stalking? It's an interesting choice. This is Carrie Hone from cafeausoul.com, and it's just very interesting that she used that word. What are you stalking? See, stalking is it's mental and emotional, but it's because we're not listening. If we stalk something, that is a mental, patriarchal act where when we just simply open ourselves and we walk with something, when we walk with grace, remember, grace is our companion. When we walk with grace, we don't need to stalk anything because we'll know, oh, that's not for me. Oh, but that is. Oh, let me move towards that. And that will move towards me. Is it the proof that you can discover abundance, or is it the reinforcement of scarcity? So in other words, she's saying, in what mindset are you? Are you stalking proof that you can discover abundance, or is it the reinforcement of scarcity? It's interesting, proof that you can discover. Well, that means that you're in a mindset of lack. So just move out of that and say, I know my abundance is there. I know what is highest and best for me will arrive, and I will align myself with that. Wisdom will lead me, grace will be my companion. The hidden influence of the creative is at play, so growth is on the horizon and ready to take manifestation. There's that reveal. The underlying cause of split apart or a period of regeneration must now be given concrete form in the visible world, regardless of the challenges. Determination, breakthrough. Determination suggests that a breakthrough in thinking can eliminate any walls to your forward progress. See, it's an inside job. It can eliminate. This determination suggests that a breakthrough in thinking can eliminate any walls to your forward progress. We see an image of looking at an obstacle and discrediting it. This means that whatever is holding you back is of your own making. It's an illusion. It's a mind thought. I can't have it. I'm not good enough. I'm what somebody else told me I am, and I believe it. Well, I can discredit all of that. I can lay all of that down. Examine what pushes your buttons to see if you are unconsciously defending your need for control. You cannot open to new opportunities if your mindset leads you to make the wrong choices. Sometimes we pursue what is bad for us to reinforce a fear of intimacy as if we know the situation is not sustainable. Sometimes we flee from what might be good for us because we are reinforcing the known, the beast you know, the known, rather than exploring the unknown. So be mindful, am I embracing the unknown? Am I listening to my soul source connection, my knowings, and doing it anyways? Meaning going forward to say, let me release this and let me embrace the unknown, or am I clinging to the beast I know? Um, like a hero being tested in their sincerity, obstacles are not a reason to give up. And, and when you know you will succeed, you will. The master said, untangle the knots and soften the glare. Determination can be recognized in the eyes, meaning you can see determination on someone's face. However, there is no need to approach life with a wrinkled brow or a sense that life is fighting you. Life has been, here's this other beautiful quote. Oop, wrong one, sorry. Here we go. Life has been committed to your success since the day you were born. It precedes you. Life, the soul, the host, your soul source connection has been committed to your success before you ever came, but certainly since the day you were born. Any challenges you face might actually be transforming your thinking. This is the time of year when the fiercest weather prepares the landscape for rebirth. So remain undaunted, but know you're being stripped of the unnecessary. See? So again, back to Colleen's comment earlier, it's so ugly out there. This is the time of year when the fiercest weather prepares the landscape for rebirth. So remain undaunted, but know you are being stripped of the unnecessary, because we cannot take it into the new. It does not belong. It will not go. You may need to make a difficult decision or share information that is sensitive, but important in clarifying your vision and expectations of others. In the current situation, a breakthrough in thinking can transform a closed door into many open doors. So there's a beauty here in this, and I'll post 43, hexagram 43. It is about determination so as to break through. It is the blank slate. It's kind of like the Etch-a-Sketch. We don't like the image and the story that we doodled and whatever. You just shake it and it's a blank page. And they had given us a while back that beauty of that blank page. Well, that blank slate opens the way for everything and everyone. Prosperity, abundance, accolades, and Kelly Clarkson's song, Before Your Love. And the lyrics to that song, it's about a relationship, but the relationship can be the one with Source. I didn't know my life could be so rich or so great or so wonderful before your love, before I knew you. And in order to know that connection, we've got to experience and find it, cultivate it, hone it, polish it, embrace it internally. We're starting over at the top. You won't believe how incredible it really is. We have the beauties of the 177, the 677, the 77s. We have the Aquarian age of enlightenment. Aquarian age alignment and Aquarian age enlightenment. Ain't nothing like the real thing. And this, wait for it, and put in the comments, I'm waiting. I'm more than ready for it. I'm like, yes, come on. I say to my loved ones all the time, oh, for the love, let's go already. Let's go. Because it is going to be, one last time, this image personifies this entire message from the unseen and this entire journey that we have been on since November of 2021. It is exactly this. The veil, the illusion gets peeled back, and it is breakthrough. It is technicolor. It is iridescent rainbow body, illuminated, illumined self. And this is you standing at the top of the staircase. Starting over at the top. Olivia is asking, where does the second 7 come in? So today is the 7th. 2023 is a 7. So it's showing up in both the day and the year. However, it's also this theme of the 7 has been playing out since we began 2023. It's a major theme for this time because it is about the deliverance of God's word. It is about of God's promise. And this has been referencing back, millennia in the Bible, and many of the religions speak to this time. And so again, it's not something new. They are referencing something that was told to us, again, 2,000-ish years ago. So, and that's where the double sevens come in. And it is just this radiating energy. I'm just going to put up the double sevens again. I mean, look at how that radiates, and look at how, I mean, it's auspicious and yet firm, controlled, resolute, powerful, empowering, and yet at the same time, auspicious, delicious, abundant. It just radiates and magnifies the energies. That's the word. That's the point here. So, with all of you, I am so excited to be on this journey with you, and that we show up each and every week to listen to see what the unseen is guiding us towards. And like all of you, and Ava's saying, yes, bring it on. I'm ready for it. Colleen is saying, I'm ready for change and breakthrough. Powerful. I'm right there with you. In alignment, lock, stock, and barrel with you, ready for this advance. So can't wait to see what happens next week. Can't wait for it. Can't wait. I'm like, come on. However, we will wait for it because it's divine time, not our time. However, it's here. It's imminent. It's here. And so I have full faith and trust in that. And I cannot thank you all enough for being on this journey. You're a beautiful soul family. So thank you. And we will see you next week.
You've been listening to Dearjames Live. Gain intuitive insight, answers, and advice to your life questions, and so much more by tuning in next week and visiting dearjames.com.